Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I wanted to make this video because I was going to work on a knife that I recently purchased. The reason why I got this knife is that I'm hoping to be able to have one knife that will do a lot of things in the camp kitchen. Right now I'm using different knives and I'm okay with them, but they're, it doesn't, those knives, they don't give me the fizz. Sometimes you want to have that, there's this guy that I've been watching, and he's like a survivalist, and he was talking about, having good stuff is great, having good material and tools are great, but it's even greater when you're using that tool and it gives you that fizz. And so none of the knives that I've been using gives me that fizz, and I'm hoping that this one will. So I recently purchased this Schrade knife. It's a SCHF36. Now this one, I purchased it because it's small, it's a drop point, and it's a heavy. It's about a pound. It's 0.99 pounds. About a pound of metal, of steel. I think it's 95 steel, something like that. It's pretty thick. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, and I figured that I can use this knife in the kitchen and pretty much do everything with it. Now some people use this knife. They call it a survivalist. They're tactical. I don't know whether that can be used for that. I've seen videos where they use this for batoning, and this is the area is not long enough. All the logs that I have seen are at least like 6-inch thick, and this would not leave a lot outside, so you can use it for batoning. I don't know whether I think there's some of the claims are exaggerated. I don't know. I guess if you have nothing else, this would work, but I'm gonna use it as my kitchen knife. The other knife that I've had Schrade before, and this is a SCHF9, and it's a bigger knife, and I've used this for batoning and making kindling and using it in camp, and I used it instead of having an axe, and it works beautifully. It's long enough. I've beaten this thing, and this, for the price that you get, I think it was like around $40. It's a SCHF9 Schrade. I highly recommend it. It's an amazing knife. I've put this through I tortured this, and it's working. I'm very happy with this. But aside from this, I added this marble hatchet to my arsenal, and I've never used this before. I just purchased it. I finished the handle, put the cord on it, and the edge was extremely dull. I took it to a place where they I don't have the tools, so they put a new edge on it, and which is pretty good. It's not razor sharp. You can't, I tried to cut hair with it, and it doesn't, but it's pretty sharp. It's gonna cut through wood pretty good. So this is to make kindling. So I'm going to use these smaller ones that I just purchased for food preparation. The trouble with this is that it comes with this coating. The train is passing by. Hold on. It's the Chicago commuter train. All right. So the trouble with this, as you can see, it comes with this coating. It's like it's like a truck bedding paint, and it's kind of rough. And from what I've seen, it may chip. So if I want to use it for food preparation, I'm going to have to remove this. And so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to remove the handle, put a paint removal thing on it, strip the paint, clean it up, and make it ready so I can use it for food preparation. So that's what we're doing today. All right, so things you need to do the work is, first of all, you need to remove the screws that holds the handle with the Allen wrench. I have two Allen wrench there. You need kind of to hold on both sides and unscrew it. You need a paint remover. I use this Jasco. I was told by Lowe's Hardware that this is really good, and it's a non-methylene chloride formula. Evidently, that's important because the plastic, the gloves that I got, the kind of thick plastic, it says it's pretty good for everything except methylene chloride paint stripper. So if you get a paint stripper that contains methylene chloride, which evidently is something really bad, that goes even that these thick gloves can't handle, then you need a better gloves. This is a non-methylene chloride formula, so these gloves will work. You need something to scrape off the paint, and you need something to do the spraying in it, so it doesn't. This thing is really corrosive, so you need to be careful with it. And also, I'm outsider here, so it's very ventilated. If you're going to do it inside, either wear a respirator or have it super ventilated. I wouldn't do it inside. So, first of all, we're going to remove these screws and get the handle free. So here I have removed the handle. The screws are here. I used the two Allen wrench, and the handle is here. We're going to put that aside. So now this is the knife. As you can see, there's this paint that goes all over. This is a full tang drop point blade, and so we need to remove all this paint. Also, let me mention this almost a pound of 95 steel is about $34. This Schrade makes amazing blades. This SCHF36, it's about $34. So for what you get, it's pretty amazing. We have to wait 15 minutes for the paint to, for the spray to take effect. This is the Schrade SCHF36, which I've been using in my travels, and as you can see, it's been used. I've been using for batoning, and I've batoned on it quite a bit, and it's a hunk of metal, 1/4 inch thick, again a drop point blade, and I couldn't be happier with this full tang. I couldn't be happier with this knife, and it has served me very well in making firewood, preparing firewood, and very good performance. I just had it professionally sharpened. I tried to do it myself, but I'm not good at getting a good edge. I don't have the material, so I took it in to a place to have it done. Now, this blades, none of them are razor sharp. I try to, do the hair test. You can see it. is don't do it. They pass the paper test, but they don't pass the hair thing. So okay, it's been 15 minutes, and we are going to see how this works. Looks like kind of working. It's not quite working, actually. So I think this is going to take a long time, more than 15 minutes. Maybe it's because of the weather. It's cold. It's 44 degrees. So we'll see. Put another coat on it, and I'm going to leave it another 15 minutes. See what happens. So I'm almost done with this. I'm using some quadruple zero wire brush, which is helping. This is pretty much it. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to clean it up and oil it and put it back together. Got some steel wool just to do some finishing touches. The 1095 steel really comes through. It is pretty nice looking blade. Yeah. I think this is going to be good for chopping carrots. It might be a bit too thick, but we'll see. Without the handle, it's pretty nice as well. And I have the choice of maybe putting paracord around it and just using it that way. But the trouble that I have is that now I have to make sure that this stays treated so it doesn't start rusting. And so if I put the paracord on it, the paracord could get wet, and then it doesn't dry as fast, and that would cause some rusting. So I probably just going to go with the original handles and put them back on. The SCHF9 that I showed you prior, I consistently oil it. Pretty much whenever I'm done, I come back from the camp, I put it away, I oil it just to make sure it doesn't rust. And so far it's holding good. And so I'm going to do the same with these blades and make sure that it stays rust free. So I think this is done. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to clean it, wash it, make sure I take away all that gunk on it, and then put it back together, and then use it, see how that works. So let's move on. I'm going to just throw everything out in the garbage. And so it's all done. So I went ahead, I washed the blade and put it in the oven to make sure that it's dry before I put oil on it and then put it together. It's out of the oven, it's cooled down, and I had some flaxseed oil in my cupboard, which I'm going to use to treat the blade. Just want to make sure that the hose gets the outside part. This part's going to be outside, so it doesn't really, it's not that important. The main part is the flat part and inside the holes, just to make sure that they are nicely treated and oily before I put the and just make sure you don't cut yourself while you're doing this. So to put the handles back together, just going to reverse the process. What you need, you need 2 Allen wrenches. Now I have these Allen wrenches that happen to be in my toolbox. I think they're from IKEA. They're like remnants of some furniture I put together, and I kept them because I happen to have 2 identical ones, and you need 2 to hold both sides and turn it. I think I cut myself. Yes I did. All right. So these are put together pretty good. Wow, look at that cut. It's pretty thin. Just like a razor. That's interesting. All right. So this is together. I'm going to put a little bit more, a little bit of oil on the blade. Very good. It's very nicely lubricated. Now I'm bleeding, so I have to go. Don't do what I did. Make sure you wear your gloves. All right, so I'm gonna do some do some first aid first. Um, Band-aid. I did the filming once, but then when I went to download it turned out that it didn't record properly, so I have to do it again. So I'm gonna do a tomato, cucumber, and a jalapeno. The problem with it is that it's a bit thick, and it's not very sharp for tomatoes. It's not bad. The thickness is not very convenient for when you're doing kitchen work. It's nice to have a thinner, like this is what I generally use, and so it's pretty thin and it's pretty light. Um, so this is a bit unwieldy, and it's kind of like really splits open the cucumber. I'm not a chef. And then they're very thin. That's pretty thin. That's pretty good. The size, I really like the size. The size is really good. The blade is going to have to be sharper. I haven't done anything right off the factory, so the blade came the way it was. So I think I'm gonna sharpen it and make sure that it's really sharp. And so I think I'm gonna use it for a while, see what happens. I think it's gonna work. It is on the borderline of a bit too big for kitchen, but I really like the blade without the paint on it. I think it looks a lot better. I put some flaxseed oil on it to make sure that it's good, as you've seen. I'm gonna treat it again right now that I used it, just to make sure there's a good layer of oil on it. This part is protected, and so it should be pretty functional. I'm not being sponsored by these people. I paid full price for this out of my own pocket, and they don't even know I'm making this video. I'm just making this video because I'm doing it. If you enjoyed watching this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and until next video, take care.